Do you believe the Niners will get rid of Jimmy lickety-split after they draft whoever this is?
Yeah, it seems to me that if Kyle had his way, the answer would be yes, that they would take Mac Jones and they would get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo this weekend and they would make Mac Jones a starter. And that would be that. So if I think Kyle Shanahan's going to win out, then yeah, I think Jimmy Garoppolo will be gone this weekend. But then you had the other guy saying, Jimmy's great for us because he allows the rookie to develop and play when he's ready. So if John Lynch had it his way, they'd keep Jimmy. And I'm thinking that John Lynch and the rest of the organization is going to get their way and Kyle's going to have to go along with it. I think they're going to keep Jimmy, but I don't know.
I'd like to pretend for our discussion that Kyle's going to have his way. Let's play a game. Let's play a game.
All right, cool.
Kyle's going to have his way because he's the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Jimmy will be gone quick?
Yep. If Kyle gets his way, they're going to take Mac Jones on Thursday, and they'll probably trade Jimmy Garoppolo by Friday.
Okay. Yep. Let's continue along this narrative that Kyle gets his way.
Yep.
I think one thing that we could agree on, Kyle is no longer a fan of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I want to point out that, at least on my Twitter, Grant and I have been down on Jimmy for a long time. We never thought, he had this explosive introduction to the Niners and we thought he was really good, but we quickly saw, and we talked to people, that he was not such a big deal. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I saw on my Twitter a lot of people don't like Jimmy, but a lot of people do. Up until even now, a lot of people write to me, you and your son, you're terrible. We hate you. You never gave Jimmy a break. It's not his fault he got hurt and all of that. Mm-hmm. And I want to say something. A lot of people defended Jimmy. Now the coach doesn't even defend him.
Yep.
So they may be, or the fans at least haven't read the coach correctly.
Right.
The minute they get rid of Jimmy, everybody will say they were right to get rid of Jimmy. And I'm going to tell you why. Fans almost always agree with management.
Yes.
They almost always agree with management. And if they finally decide Jimmy's no good, they're going to wipe out all the history of Jimmy, all of their opinions about Jimmy, and they're going to say, Jimmy was wrong. My attitude always was, now, by the way, I would agree that Jimmy wasn't that good. And the fans were finally coming around to it. My attitude, in my small way, because I only was a sports writer, not politics or anything like that, I wanted to stand up to power.
Yes.
I never wanted to believe their narrative. Because I always felt they were hiding things.
Yes.
They weren't being upfront. Yes. So I tend to want to disagree with power and management. In this case, however, I think management is finally agreeing with you and me, Iggy. We were saying this 2 years ago.
I think they agreed with us.
Super Bowl run, he wasn't that good.
And we said it during the time that, look, they took the ball out of his hands in the NFC Championship game. They don't trust him. They agree with us. They feel the same way. And Niner fans were like, how could you say that? They were running the ball well. Why would you get away from the running? No, they don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think it's clear that Kyle Shanahan blamed him for losing the Super Bowl, blamed him for having the losing season in 2018, and blamed him for having the losing season in 2020. And if you put those three blames on Jimmy Garoppolo, then you probably can't use that excuse anymore. You've used it 3 times now. You do need to move on and get a new starting quarterback, but that's his excuse. John Lynch can say, I didn't lose those games. I'm not a losing head coach. I want to take the long approach. I want to make the right pick for the future of the franchise, not just for the current system. Because theoretically, the quarterback should outlast the coach.
I'm going to add something else, because you've really brought up a very interesting topic that goes beyond football to all major professional sports.
Sure.
General managers and coaches or managers in baseball generally don't like each other.
That's right.
I mean, they get along, but they're not pals because their interests diverge.
Right.
The coach or the manager is trying to keep his job, and he wants to win now, i.e. Kyle Shanahan.
Yes.
The general manager is building for the future. Brian Sabian. He was always building for the future.
Right.
They think in a different way.
And they're at odds. I mean, those two things are at odds a lot of the time. Building for the future, building for the present. You can't do both all the time. We have to do one at the expense of the other.
Yeah, like in baseball, Iggy, the manager is always saying, get me a pitcher. I need a pitcher. I need a pitcher right now. And
At the expense of
general manager,
farm system?
or the general manager would say, well, what do I have to give up to get this pitcher?
Right.
And there's constant tension. And that's exactly what you saw yesterday between those two guys. I want to win now, the coach. Hold your horses, the general manager. Two different interests.
I want to do what's best for the organization long term, which is supposed to be the decision here. You're not supposed to be choosing based on what's best for now. So good for John Lynch. Hold your ground. Don't just defer to Kyle Shanahan. You know you're right. I'm telling you you're right. Your assistants are telling you you're right. What is Kyle's track record drafting quarterbacks? You don't have to defer here.
Not only what's his record drafting, what's his record developing. Everybody talks about if they get a really good college quarterback. He's a quarterback whisperer. No, he's not.
Ask Jimmy Garoppolo about that.
Yeah, look what he did with Jimmy. Jimmy only went down under Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, and I don't think he would probably have nice things to say about the experience.